We're joined now in studio by Dr. Lekelia Jenkins. Thank you for coming in today to talk to us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so tell me a little bit about Psydance. I'm fascinated by this because it seems like such a creative way to reach out to students and the general public and non-science people.
So Psydance is a program I have that uses dance to express science concepts. And it's a participatory process, so I actually work with adults who may not be dancers themselves to create movement that to them embodies the science concepts they've just learned about. It's something that began when I did the AAAS Dance Your PhD competition this first year, and I won second place in the postdoctoral category. And it really became clear to me how powerful dance was and the reactions of people, not just immediately, but 10 years afterwards, it was still having impact on folks.
Yeah, so connecting thought to movement and trying to, I mean, is it interpretive dance? Is it choreographed? Is it, how do you come up with the dances? Is it sort of what people, like I can envision seaweed and kind of dancing that way, but like how do you marry those two things?
There's 3 tools. So sometimes I have short little exercises. They're just 10, 15 minutes with the audience. Other times I have 2 hours to build out a dance. There are in the moment interpretive movements where I might say to someone, what does the ocean mean to you? Just give me words. Give me words. What does the ocean mean to you?
Blue, clean, flowing, life.
Okay. Blue, clean, flowing life. So if I said flowing to you and I asked you to move your body with flowing, in any way that means flowing to you, maybe just your hand, what does that look like?
It's sort of like this.
It's like this.
Yeah.
So I might take that and then I would say, can we move this to the whole body? And then you're already doing it, right?
I'm going to go off camera, but yeah.
And we're going bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
So that's one way that I'll draw movement out of people who aren't necessarily movers or choreographers. And then I'll also use certain structured activities that I know will give me the look that I want. So one of them is something called body surfing, where people can line up like little logs and like log roll like you did when you were a kid. And another person can literally lay on them and get moved forward. And when you have enough of people doing that, it actually looks like ocean waves. And so I know I'll have that effect. I know I can coach people on how to do that, and it'll get done. And when I have the pleasure of working with actual kind of trained dancers, I will sometimes give them a scientific paper to read, something that's really accessible and has a lot of imagery, and I'll ask them to choreograph 30 seconds of movement, come with it, and we'll adapt it.
That's fantastic. This is such an innovative way of thinking about your field, and you're in marine sustainability, right?
Yes.
And it, given the flowing nature of water, it seems like it's sort of a natural fit. How do you kind of turn the tide against that again? How do you get people to kind of come back to this idea that art is important to science and is a valuable part of creating it and expressing it?
One, I talk about it, so thank you for this opportunity to talk about it. If I can engage them in my work, I point to other people's work. I get explicit about what art can bring that are other ways of communicating and engaging is not so readily equipped to bring. I personally think, and I'd love to do the research to back this up, that the movement changes our biochemistry. So I find that I can talk about the extinction of sea turtles, which is really depressing, and people can sit with that topic a lot longer. There's a joy that comes through moving, and so that joy helps create more space for this heavy topic. And the longer you can sit with a topic that's difficult, the more likely you're going to get to solutions. So I talk about that in terms of the meaning and the power of it, and then I do what I just did with you, which is remind you of the history of where we came from as scientists. You look at Leonardo da Vinci, what was he? He was a scientist and an engineer and an artist. And it's only recently that we've narrowly defined ourselves, and I think it's to our detriment.
Yeah. Dr. Lekelia Jenkins, thank you so much for coming in today to talk to us.
Thank you for letting me talk about science dance.
Yeah.